Watch as Akua clashes with GB News guest Andy Williams about women-only spaces, days after the UK Supreme Court's ruling on the definition of a woman. In a move seen as damaging by many trans women, the court ruled that a woman is legally defined by biological sex. It has prompted calls for public institutions to update their terms on matters like single-sex spaces like toilets and changing rooms. Broadcaster Andy Williams made the argument that not as many people are engaged with the issue as you might expect. Politicians have been tying themselves up in knots over this for years, he said. Actually, I think purely from an apolitical standpoint, this judgment really helps because you can just say that's the ruling and we all have to move on now. Nana interjected, I would say most of us know that a woman doesn't have a penis. Most people know that a trans woman is not a woman. People have lost jobs and livelihoods for protecting the biological status of women. I agree with all of that, Williams said. We also know the vast majority of people are just more engaged in this as an issue or a debate. Nana hit back, that's not true, but her co-host Eamon Holmes sided with Williams on the matter. That's because you're men, said Nana. You two, who are men, who won't have to deal with it, think that. As a woman, we don't. We know that men can come into women's changing places if they say you are women. You can have ridiculous things like Michelle Dubry having to cancel her gym membership because they weren't prepared to be definite about women's spaces. Women, who are actually the larger majority of the population than men, deal with it all the time. Equalities Minister Bridget Phillipson has said transgender women should use male toilets following the Supreme Court ruling. She insisted the government is united in welcoming the justice's decision. Speaking to the BBC, she said, many businesses, large and small, will ensure that they have appropriate provision in place. For example, many businesses have moved towards unisex provision or separate cubicles that can be used by anyone. She emphasized that transgender people deserve dignity and respect when discussing how businesses should approach toilet facilities. The minister expressed hope that businesses would make sure that there is a safe and appropriate place for all people to use, including trans people.